And now we're going to introduce one of the great success examples of communities of practice that we have in our churches. We have here with me Christoph Römhild, who is a pastor of a German church and responsible for the German Protestant churches to run a large community of practice called Geistreich. And he is going to tell us a little bit about what experiences they had and what possibilities he sees with this new format. So, Christoph, could you speak a little bit to us about the main features of Geistreich, your community of practice?
Hello, nice to meet you. Geistreich, it's a German word and it's a kind of a word play. It also means full of spirit, but it also means kind of inspired. The main feature is to exchange good practice or good experiences within the church. So if one congregation has a good project and makes a good experience, they can exchange it with other congregations via Geistreich, and they can be inspired by it. So it has a means of a storytelling. We can tell each other good stories via this new medium, and we can be aware of new trends, and we have the inspiration for local innovations we can make. So it's a network among practitioners within the churches, and it's an exchange among professionals and among volunteers, and also between volunteers and professionals.
Right. Well, you say it's an exchange of stories. Can you tell us a few good stories from the last months that you thought that were really impressive?
Well, there's, for example, a Bible bus which is traveling around in the countryside, going into villages and presenting projects on the Bible and inspiration for families and kids to read more in the Bible, to understand the Bible better. There are also a project for congregations or for Kirchenkreise, for gatherings of congregations, where they try to a culture of welcoming. So be more open and have a welcoming culture for people who come new into the church. So, for example, when people move into the area, they don't know their congregation yet. So they have to be introduced in the congregation. So there's a brunch and a breakfast for the people who moved in the area. So they feel welcomed in the congregation and in the parish. And I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Well, and from what I'm reading, I also saw that the entire project was accompanied by a group of researchers from the beginning. What are some of the major findings of that research?
That's right. The main funding was done by the Minister of State for Research and Education, and now the funding is done by T-Systems, which is a big telecom daughter, big company, and they do the funding now. And the main finding is that often our knowledge is a tacit knowledge. So we know what to do, but we can't describe it. It's silent knowledge. And the findings we made was that we developed ways within Geistreich, within Inspired, to express the silent knowledge. So we have a pattern, and you fill in a form with different steps. And in doing so, practitioners realize what they did and why they did it. So they realize their silent knowledge and can share it with other people. So this was a big step in the research to realize, okay, we handle experience knowledge, and how can we share experience knowledge? What happens when silent knowledge can be expressed and can be shared with others? And that was a big step, and this was a big research we did. The Protestant Church in Germany was accompanied by the Fernuniversity in Hagen and by an Institute for Knowledge Media in Tübingen. And they did the research, they did the development of Geistreich, and they also did the research for the success of Geistreich, and analyzed how can tacit knowledge become explicit knowledge and can be shared with other practitioners in a community of practice. From the organizational perspective, we gained a better view of how innovation can be spread within an organization. So if you see the church in Germany or the Single Landeskirchen in Germany as an organization, which is a learning organization, then you can see with Geistreich, okay, how is knowledge spreading within the organization. If you think about a festival of baptisms, then this is an idea that parishes have such an event together, and not in single places anymore, but together. And you can see how this idea, this wonderful idea, is spreading around the organization. And that was also a big finding, to see that this can be supported by internet technologies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that is quite interesting. And I also see that you say, well, that is not just an idea that should work in Germany, but could also go beyond that. Now you're offering Geistreich also in English. We're obviously posting the link. And so that is possible for other people to see and to work with that. What is the goal that you're having with opening up Geistreich beyond Germany?
That's right. The user interface was up to now only in German, but it's now German and English, so you can switch the user interface of Geistreich between the two languages. And we are planning to get more languages for the user interface. And you also find Geistreich on www.geistreich.eu. So it's a real European internet address as well. But we believe in one God for all countries, for all churches, who's inspiring the church and who's giving ideas. That's why we have in our name Geistreich the Holy Spirit, and that's why we started on Pentecost, because that's the feast for the Holy Spirit, because we believe that the Holy Spirit gives ideas in the churches, and we want to encourage a dialogue about those ideas and about the doings of the Holy Spirit, not only within one church or within each church, but also among the churches and among the countries. So we got an real European exchange of ideas and real connecting practitioners on a European level. So ideas can spread all over the continent and be shared among the churches.
Good. Thank you very much, Christoph. That was very helpful and very insightful for us, and I'm sure many of our participants are going to have a look at your page and maybe also contributing from their experiences, ideas, and best practices. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.